You're tuned in to Nerd Overload, your weekly pop and geek culture show covering movies, TV, games, and comics.
Hey everybody, welcome to a new year of Nerd Overload. I am Cody, the creator and animator of the famous Steamboat Willie short, and also Plain Crazy, starring my original character, Mickey Mouse.
I'm Sam, the original voice of Mickey Mouse, from Steamboat Willie, specifically.
And I'm Josh, co-creator of Pete in Steamboat Willie.
We have a great show for you this week. Thank you all for tuning in. We have a bunch of things to talk about, but first, let's get into some things we have been checking out.
Check it out!
And you know, I should have subbed in the the Steamboat Willie music there. I should have done that,
you still
got time.
Yeah, that's true. So yeah, let's talk about some things we've been doing this week. I'll go first. I finished up the second Pokemon Violet DLC, the Indigo Disc.
Oh, okay.
I got all the way through it. I'm just in the cleanup stages. You get bonuses for beating every trainer on that island, which there aren't that many. There's like 14 in each of the 4 segments, and there are special things you can unlock as you kind of go along.
Pokemon.
But as far as the story is concerned and catching all the magic, all the special guys and whatever, it's done. And honest truth, it was pretty fun. It was a pretty good DLC.
So it saves Pokemon for at least another generation for you?
Maybe, yeah, I would say so. They actually gave it a little bit of thought, the trainers that are in it and the challenges that you have to do, while still geared towards kids, because it is a kid's game, of course. There was a little bit of challenge to it. There was a little bit of strategy that you had to... You couldn't just walk in with your level 100s, whatever, and just steamroll everything. In fact, one of the gym leaders, like, they have special trials that you have to do before you fight the boss. And one of the trials was, okay, we have these 3 or 4, underlings that I have. Go ahead and beat them, but they have to be caught from the DLC, and they have to be caught by you. Good luck. And that's kind of good. That's interesting.
I'm gonna have to get these at some point, because I really liked Scarlet and Violet. I thought they were actually pretty good games in spite of everything. And I wouldn't mind more of it.
Yeah, and it was... I mean, there's the problems that were in the base game are still there in the DLC, like the loading, the pop-in of the graphics and stuff like that.
And just the graphics generally being bad.
Generally not being very good. The lack of customization on your player character,
which was a wildly weird step back out of nowhere.
That was kind of weird.
That's been like a thing since like the DS.
Yeah, I will say there is a post game thing where once you beat everything, you can go to the main school, and there is a short little epilogue about the punk gang that were one of your main rivals. They're all back in school, and the bonus for doing that little thing is you get like the Team Rocket version, like I think they're called Team Star or something like that.
I think so.
Yeah, so you get their costume as something you can wear, so you can look kind of, not like
a weird little schoolboy.
Yeah. But no, it was fun. It was a good time. I almost have the decks completed for all 3. I'm not sure what will come of that. I'm sure something.
Probably not much.
Probably
it's usually
not
much.
Yeah.
You'll get your little certificate again.
Yeah.
Get a certificate. I mean, the first 2, it was you got one that made shinies pop up easier. You got one that made it more likely to get those excellent catches where like it shakes real quick and then you immediately catch stuff. So there's probably a third thing that makes it easier to do stuff. I don't know.
It's Pokemon.
It's Pokemon.
It's all about saying that you did it.
Yeah.
Anyway. Like,
exactly. Yeah. But that's it. That's all I've done.
I watched that movie Saltburn the other day.
Oh, yeah. How was Saltburn?
It's good.
Okay.
I mean, it tells a compelling story about this guy who goes to college and doesn't have any friends, and then he makes friends with a rich kid, and kind of about how he like integrates his way into their lives during the summer. And then things go from there. in different, he becomes obsessed with the guy for one.
Okay.
But like, I feel like there's parts in it that shock you just to be shocking and don't really like
add anything.
Yeah, add anything story wise. But even with that, the story is still compelling enough that it's worth a watch.
It's enjoyable and worth a watch.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting.
But like, don't if you're squeamish.
Ah, gotcha.
And not
I'm good.
And not gore squeamish.
Oh no, then I'm good.
Wait, is this like gross or is this like secondhand embarrassment? Like
It's
cringe?
maybe both.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't even begin to tell you what it is on the air.
Okay. Yeah. Nope. I'm good. Yeah. No, gross stuff I'm okay with. It's the secondhand embarrassment that is.
Oh, it's not. It's more gross than
It's more
it
gross
is
than
secondhand
yeah.
embarrassment.
Okay. Well, still, I think I'm all right.
Yeah, sometimes I don't like to physically cringe,
Yeah. Fair.
which is hard when you're chronically online like I am.
Well, sure.
But I can understand why it's got all the heat behind it right now. Like it was a pretty good movie.
Actually, I've never heard of it until you brought it up.
Really,
So
there's a lot of
people have been watching it. Yeah.
talk about it online.
I guess I'm missing that one.
Maybe you're not as chronically online as you thought.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just all the meme groups I'm in.
Yeah.
That's how I get my world news.
No, now if they would have described the plot of the movie as a Darmok meme from Star Trek
At Tanagra,
at Tanagra.
when the walls fell.
I've been playing Far Cry 6.
Okay.
That dropped on
Is that-
Game Pass the other day.
Is that the one with
Giancarlo Esposito?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
He's all over the place in it too.
Nice. He's a good actor.
He's pretty good in it too, and it's a fun enough game. It's an Ubisoft product, and
Yeah, so you get what you get.
Yeah, and it plays like one, but like sometimes that's all you really need.
I mean, I like the Far Cry games. I've liked them since the original one.
It's fun to do a shoot and a drive, and the setting is kind of cool. It's like a Cuban analog like
Oh, that's kinda
country.
cool. Yeah.
I mean, that's a lot of them.
Yeah, that's being controlled by Giancarlo Esposito's dictator character.
Yeah.
And you help the guerrillas take back over the country.
Okay.
And it's like ridiculously long. There's like so much stuff to do, and I've put a ton of time into it. And it feels like I'm still like not even halfway through. And a lot of the content's pretty repetitive too. Like it's a lot of go here, shoot guys.
I mean, it's a Far Cry game.
Yeah.
That's kind of what they do.
But like it's a comfort food thing. Like it's just sometimes you just want to shoot some guys in a video game, and it's scratching that itch well enough.
Granted, in 5, it was all about like, getting high on drugs and hallucinating while you're doing all that.
I loved 5. I liked the enemies being cultist hillbillies in like nowhere, Montana. That have taken over the whole area, and I like that setting. I thought that was
It's an interesting setting. Yeah.
This one is interesting too, but not as, because it's not as relatable.
Gotcha. All right. Fair enough.
Granted,
Go ahead.
no, you go ahead.
But they work in the setting good. Like all the cars are like the old like 50s cars that you would see in Cuba, like because they have those same cars they've always had because of import.
Right. Yeah.
What's that word?
Embargoes. Yeah.
And you can be a male or female protagonist, because Ubisoft got in trouble for that one time, and now they can never not do it.
Right. Actually, speaking of Giancarlo Esposito, I have an almost check it out. I, for some weird, strange reason, got half an inkling to go back and revisit the show Once Upon a Time.
Oh, no.
He's in that?
Yeah, he was in the first couple seasons of that before he got very famous with Better Call Saul and Breaking Bad. He was Mr. Glass, a.k.a. the Magic Mirror, and also maybe the genie from Aladdin.
Oh, that was him?
That was him.
I had no idea.
Yeah. No, I remember watching it weekly when it was out, and it very quickly turned from, I'm going to watch this cool thing because they're taking fairy tales and doing a cool thing with them, and turned to, I'm going to see how terrible this gets.
Yes.
That's kind of how I did it. I always
Yeah.
hate watching it.
And it's been long enough that I kind of want to do a hate through.
It's like the worst possible version of Fables.
It absolutely is.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Because
Yeah.
all it is the Disney take on them.
For the most part. Yeah.
No, it is. I mean, it is. I mean,
Well, they had some that weren't Disney because
No,
Red Riding Hood has never been a Disney thing.
It started out not so much, but as the further it went, the more Disney
it
ingrained it
became.
got.
Because then you had you brought in
Frozen.
Frozen. That
well,
was
not even the Frozen stuff. Before that, they had the Alice in Wonderland spinoff that had Jafar as a principal villain,
That's right. That's right.
and Jafar is not part of the original Aladdin and the
no, that's
40 Thieves or whatever.
That's
the
true.
story
At
was.
one point, yeah, they did decide. You know what? This is just Disney.
And then there's like Mulan, and then the Frozen stuff was like the big one.
Frozen stuff was big. Although they put in like Wizard of Oz stuff and Frankenstein stuff.
Yeah, Frankenstein's in there.
Yeah.
It's not all Disney, but it leans heavily
It
in
leans
that direction.
very heavily.
It's definitely
Yeah.
a lot of the Disney versions of of fairy tales.
Sure. Yeah. And I'm just curious. I'm curious.
Oh, man, I
how
forgot-
bad it actually was.
I forgot Bucky was in that.
Oh yeah, he was the Mad Hatter for like 5 or 6 episodes.
He was also big in the Alice in Wonderland spinoff.
Right. Yeah, that's right.
Their Hook is nowhere near the Disney version of Hook.
No, I love Disney Hook, but also nothing really tops Dustin Hoffman Hook.
Well, sure.
The Once Upon a Time Hook is way too straight.
True, very true. But yeah, I don't know. Just was thinking, this was media that sucked.
I think me and Nicole, when we first started hate watching it, I think we got through maybe 2 seasons before we can't.
There's
do
like
this.
7 seasons.
Oh,
of
I
it.
know.
Oh yeah, it was
I know.
on way too long.
And then the fact of Rumpelstiltskin being literally everything.
Oh my god, I forgot about him.
Oh, and his silly little laugh.
yeah. Yeah, that guy sucked so bad.
Yeah, and he's literally everything. He is technically the Croc
Yeah.
because he took Hook's hand.
He took Hook's hand. He's Peter Pan's son that Peter Pan gave up in exchange for eternal youth.
Oh,
That was an entire
God.
season.
Ah.
Yeah.
God, that show sucks. And the whole Snow White being like a resistance leader kind of thing, and
Sure. Yeah.
Judy
But that queen though.
Oh yeah, the evil queen. Yeah.
Yeah.
you mean the mayor of the town?
Regina Mills.
Yeah.
Yeah. The only name from that show that I have committed to memory.
Well, they said it so.
They said it so
much.
many- and-
especially in that first season.
And God bless him for it.
Snow White is Judy Hopps. That's the voice
That's right.
of Judy Hopps.
Yep. That's right. That's
man.
right.
I'm glad-
Ginnifer Goodwin.
Yeah.
God, that show's bad. Ugh.
Yeah, it's a similar feeling I get when I think of Once Upon a Time. It's a similar feeling I get when I think about Heroes.
Yep.
Like
Though the first season of Heroes is mint though.
Sure.
overwrought, serialized TV garbage
Yes. Yeah.
I mean,
that Lost made a thing. Lost was popular, so they're like, give us something that's close to that.
Uh-huh.
And that's
Although
how.
wasn't Heroes a contemporary of Lost?
You know, it might have been. I know a lot of Lost writers moved on to Once Upon a Time.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. And I guess that is like is it Grimm? Was that the next permutation of this thing where it's a super serious serialized
yeah.
the headless horseman is actually a guy who has supernatural powers and hunts monsters or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
I never watched that one, but I get the same vibes off of that.
Well, there was also, I mean, it's years later, but there was also Sleepy Hollow.
That's what. Okay, yeah, that might be what I'm thinking.
Well, Sleepy Hollow. Well, the Headless Horseman was just a monster.
Right,
Ichabod Crane was the monster hunter,
right,
and
right,
he had
right.
been like resurrected or whatever in modern
in modern
times.
times. Yes, that's what I'm thinking of. What am I? Grimm. What was I thinking of?
Well, there was a show called Grimm,
Oh yeah,
and it was about the brothers Grimm hunting monsters.
that's it. Okay, but still, same vibe. Same vibe.
Yeah. I mean, back in the day, those kind of shows happened all the time. You had like, Buffy the Vampire Slayer and
Hansel and Gretel Monster Hunters movie.
Oh,
yeah.
I remember watching that.
That's a
That is-
similar vibe.
or Van Helsing.
There's Jeremy Renner in
Jeremy
it.
Renner. His fatal flaw is that he had diabetes because he was fed so much candy as a child.
Oh God.
That's not a
I
joke.
forgot
That's a
about
know,
that.
I know.
That is, that's in the movie.
At the climax of the film, he goes into diabetic shock, and Gretel has to save him because he has the diabetes.
He's got the beatus.
Oh man.
He didn't watch The Wolf of Brimley.
Oh wow.
Anyway, things I've been checking out.
Yes.
Of which I've got a couple.
Okay, let's hear him.
So I got The Last Ronin, The Lost Years for Christmas.
Okay.
And I was like, okay, but I need to read The Lost Ronin originally first.
Okay. So, what is?
So The Last Ronin and The Lost Years are an sort of alternate take, future take on the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
It's an Elseworlds. It's kind of like an
Sorta.
Elseworlds or a what if or a possible future kind of situation.
yeah, it's definitely a very plausible future within the Turtles universe.
Mm-hmm.
They don't really go too specific into like backstory stuff. Like, so there, you can't really peg it if it's the Mirage universe or the IDW universe.
They wanted plausible deniability, it sounded like.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird also both worked on it, plus one of the writers from the IDW.
They both did because
Yeah.
Laird hasn't really been involved in Turtle stuff in a long time.
He's been involved in the IDW stuff too.
Well, I know Eastman has.
Yeah, their names are in there.
Sure,
Well,
but
they have to be.
Well, yeah, but
yeah.
but no, in the book there's a foreword by Eastman.
Okay.
Where he talks about him and Peter working on, because originally I guess the concept of The Last Ronin was something they came up with a long time ago.
Oh, interesting.
Kind of like it was like, well, what would be the end game of our series? And
Gotcha.
This was the idea they came up with, but then they shelved it once it started getting popular, and once a lot
the cartoon and
the cartoon and all the moving things became the way it is.
Right.
With Eastman working on the IDW stuff, they're like, you know what? Maybe we should go back and revisit this idea we had.
Yeah.
Of like, the end of the war, basically.
And when they started talking to each other again, because there was a long time where
They didn't talk to each other. Yes.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's set in the far future. There's one surviving turtle fighting a war against the Foot Clan, and at this point, the Foot Clan has taken over Manhattan or New York or whatever.
New York City.
Kind of in a and it's like a techno dystopian kind of future kind of thing. But the lone turtle comes back, and it's not till like issue 3 they actually reveal who the turtle is.
I was gonna ask if they let you know right away, because it'd be fun if they didn't. I'm glad they didn't. I'm glad they held off.
Yeah, like it was like the last page of like issue 2 or 3.
There's like a big cliffhanger reveal.
He says cowabunga.
No.
That's how they should have did it.
Honestly, they kind of write him more like a Mirage style turtle. He's very grim. He's very angry, but also he's been through a lot.
Yeah. Well, he's the last turtle.
Yeah, he is the last. Well, not only the last turtle, but he's basically almost the last of his family.
He's the last mutant, basically, right?
No,
He's not
no.
going to eat any pizza, is what you're saying.
Yeah. I never saw him eat any pizza.
I don't think.
In flashbacks, you do, but not in.
So I feel like I read somewhere that Eastman and Laird did not like that aspect of the turtles.
Where it kind of became
The
their
pizza,
whole
Pizza eating,
personality.
whatever. Yeah.
I mean, it feels like anytime they bring up the 80s turtles in other media, they basically get dunked on constantly
Sure.
by like whatever current level of the turtles there are.
But those are the turtles that I like. I like the silly
The
pizza
the goofy turtles
yeah.
and the Dimension X and
yeah,
all that.
weird alien. Yeah,
Weird aliens and stuff. Yeah.
Krang, yeah.
Krang, yeah.
But anyway, it's very good. I liked it. I really couldn't put it down. I was like, man, this is really compelling.
Yeah.
Like I stayed up way too long in the mornings reading this book. Well, books, I should say. Mm-hmm. But it's very good. I don't want to spoil too much. I know a lot of stuff has been spoiled because it has been out for a while now.
And they're in the process of making that game as well.
There is the game. I think THQ Nordic might be working on it. Mm-hmm. But the way they've made it sound is it's going to be a newer God of War style kind of game. And I'm like, you know what? That works. And then with the Lost Years stuff, they open up more stuff. So it actually would be, there's enough there to make a game out of. Because in the Lost Years, it talks about like the 10 plus years in between the events that set everything off, and it leads up to right at the beginning of The Last Ronin.
Gotcha.
But it also sets up the next series of this timeline.
Yeah.
And introducing some new characters and stuff, and ramping up into the new series, which starts this month.
Oh, okay.
Called The Last Ronin 2 Re-Evolution.
Gotcha. And that's where they introduce the more turtles. And
well, they're introducing...
They're introducing this.
In the Lost Years, but
yeah,
but they're going to be the focus of the next...
Fleshed out a little more. And
yes, the new characters, the new
focus. Yeah.
The new team. But it's very good. It's also very sad, especially when you grow up with turtles like we did. Mm-hmm. And, you know, these familiar characters and bad stuff happens to them. And it's like, oof. Rough.
Yeah.
One thing I did like, though, a lot of times in the Last Ronin, the main book, when they have flashbacks, the flashbacks are drawn in Mirage style.
Oh, cool.
So everything's black and white. Everything's kind of rough looking.
Mm-hmm. And that's really cool.
Oh, yeah. But yeah, I really liked it. And it really got me back on like a Turtles kick. So I've been like consuming a whole bunch of this media. Oh, I played Shredder's Revenge.
Nice.
Oh, that game rules.
Oh yeah,
I've
I've beat it once so far. And I did it as Leonardo in the Game Boy colors,
Oh, nice.
the greenish
Yeah.
tint.
I need to play the DLC because I love the original. Like the first time I played through that's
Well, the DLC just
game.
kind of adds 2 new characters and then adds the survival mode or whatever.
I thought it added like some single player, like Dimension X stuff.
I haven't been able to access it or find it. The only thing I found is going through a portal in the survival stuff to collect crystals or whatever. But Shredder's Revenge is great. It's definitely a huge love letter to the arcade style of games and like Turtles in Time. Like one of my favorite things to do is grab foot soldiers and chuck them at the screen.
Like Turtles in Time.
Like Turtles in Time.
Yeah.
It's great. It's great. It feels like even though it's a newer game, it feels like a familiar, I don't know, like your favorite food when you're younger, and then you have it, and it unlocks
The nostalgia.
Yeah. But it's like good nostalgia. It's not
Sure.
like bad nostalgia. Because I have the Cowabunga collection too, and all those games are there. Arcade all the way, through all the Game Boy stuff.
Mm-hmm. I love that original janky Turtles NES game.
Oh, the one that's like the arcade game, but it's not quite as good.
No, the platformer.
That one
with the dam level everyone hates.
Oh
Yep.
yeah. Oh, much like in that one, Donatello in Shredder's Revenge does have a slight advantage because he has a better reach.
He has the crazy reach. Yeah, I think I played through almost entirely as Donatello, but only because he's my favorite turtle.
I played as Leo because he's my favorite. I want to go back and play as Usagi Yojimbo.
Oh, that would be cool.
Because it's funny. He's not technically a Turtles character, but he's been so ingrained into the mythos that he
may
kind
as
of
well
is.
be. Yeah.
That and Stan Sakai and the Eastman and Laird were good friends, and they all worked at the same studio together.
Yep.
Oh, and they also added Karai, Shredder's daughter, as a playable character.
Tribute Games always does a good job. I don't think they've ever put out a game that I didn't like.
What other games did they do? Because I'm not really sure.
Panzer Paladin.
Panzer Paladin is fantastic.
Oh, yeah, I remember seeing clips of that. That looked like a fun game.
Wizorb, Curses and Chaos. I know I'm missing a big one.
Yeah, I can't think of it either, but yeah, they do really
Flint
good.
Hook.
Flint Hook's really good, yeah.
Mercenary Kings, that was the other
Mercenary
big one.
Kings, yeah.
Which is Monster Hunter Contra. And has art by Paul Robertson, the guy that did the art for the Scott Pilgrim game.
Oh, right, yeah.
Oh, man. That's another one I should go back and play. Scott Pilgrim.
Get it quick, because isn't the publisher losing the rights
Again? Oh my god.
And they're going to be delisted here soon, within the month or so, I think.
Ooh, okay. Yeah, I better download that bad boy.
Something like that. Anyway, listen, if we've learned anything from this first segment, is that we like turtles.
No. No.
And with that, we're going to go ahead and take a break. And when we come back, we will get into some news.
This is Gail Martin.
Hi, this is Carol Kelly. We'd like to invite you to join us for our gardening and outdoors show here on WZMO. We talk about observations and insights about what's happening from week to week with plants and animals in the woods and fields around us, as well as what's going on in the garden.
In the Green Outdoors airs Saturdays and Mondays at about 9:30 a.m., right after the second cup. We hope you'll join us.
Hi everyone, I'm Greg Dunham, the host of Long Play. Long Play might be, as far as anyone can tell, a hit from coast to coast. Apparently, Long Play may also be an international sensation. I've contacted WZMO's sister station in Paris to check the pulse of the City of Lights. Bonjour, avec Long Play?
Tu vas te tuer, espèce d'idiot, c'est incroyable.
My French is a little rusty, but I think she said we're a hit.
Imbécile.
I invite you to tune into Long Play Fridays at 11 p.m. and Saturdays at 3 p.m. Juste ici on WZMO.
Hey, we are back from the break. Let's get into some news. All right, guys, are you ready to spin straw into gold?
Oh my God, you are grounded. Go to jail. Go directly to jail.
I'm the Rumpelstiltskin.
You almost did. He who should not be named. Christmas creep.
Oh, the Christmas creep. No, we're not allowed to do the one. It's not the season.
No,
Two,
it's way past his
way
time.
past his time.
No, it's
he's
New Year's creep.
He's gone back into his Odin sleep. He's good for now. He's good for another 11 months.
He's been trapped in his Odin sleep for 5 years.
He's a sleepy boy.
He's in the Phantoms.
Yeah, he's been
People
locked in
who are listening to the show now have no idea what we're talking
Yeah.
about, and that's fine.
That's for us.
That's for that. Sometimes the jokes are for us. Most of the time, the jokes are for us. All right, so let's get into some things there. Let's figure it out. A big one. I don't know. Jack Black is going to be in a Minecraft movie.
He's the Steve. He's the Minecraft man.
He is main generic Minecraft guy, and I asked the question, why?
They both have a beard.
No, why Minecraft? Why now?
Why not 10 years ago?
Because the Mario movie made a gajillion billion dollars, and now they're more serious about this Minecraft movie than they were before.
Or just video game movies in general.
Yeah.
I was afraid this was going to happen. I was afraid we were going to see an influx of
Bad video game movies.
Studios just going, what do we got? What do we got? Okay, let's make a movie out of this.
Isn't Jack Black playing Claptrap in the Borderlands show or whatever?
Borderlands. But what happened to that Borderlands movie?
I don't know.
It's probably going to end up back on the chopping block.
Yeah.
It's probably going to end up back on the, whatever.
But there's been a Minecraft movie in the works for, I don't know, 6 or 7 years at this point. It's had multiple directors. At one point, the guy that plays Mac from Always Sunny was directing it. Rob
McElhenney. Yeah.
Borderlands comes out August 9th.
Oh. Well, there you go.
But now he's not. Now it's the Napoleon Dynamite guy, Jared Hess, the director of that.
Oh, really?
Now he's attached.
Oh, the last time he and Jack Black worked together, they made Nacho Libre.
Which is a good movie.
It's fine.
Yeah. It's not
great.
It's not Napoleon Dynamite.
Well,
I wouldn't even say it's Gentlemen Broncos. Do you remember that one?
No.
No one remembers that one. It's it's about a kid who writes who was a science fiction writer, and then a famous writer steals his notebook and
Steals his idea
and then publishes a book, but adds all this extra weird stuff
it's
to it.
Big Fat Liar.
Big Fat Liar, basically. And there are intercuts of the story as it's going, and I think Sam Rockwell is the main lead of that, of the in-story thing.
Okay.
It's a weird one. Gentlemen Broncos is a weird one, but yeah, Minecraft, the movie,
It feels like it's past the time when that would have been, relevant.
I feel like 6 years ago it was past its time.
Minecraft itself is pretty evergreen with the kids. They seem to
well,
Yeah,
liking it.
perhaps.
And mowing is always adding stuff. There's always updates. There's always big changes coming. It's definitely a lot different game than it was when I first started.
As
playing
long
it.
as Notch doesn't get any money from this,
well,
I think
I
we're good.
I don't think he does.
Yeah, he does.
well, then we're good.
He doesn't own it anymore. Yeah.
Okay, well then I'm less worried about
Especially
it.
since Microsoft bought mowing.
Yeah.
Years ago. So I think that was one of their first big studio acquisitions. When
Yeah,
they started,
when they
started
buying
gobbling
it.
them up.
Yeah.
And they got
Yeah.
Obsidian and
So my question, what I'm wondering is what's the next big one? Like when is the Fortnite movie or you know what, the Fortnite show, the Netflix limited series Fortnite?
I feel like I saw an article recently about something like that.
I feel like if Fortnite makes anything like that, you'll only be able to watch it in Fortnite.
Oh sure,
I feel like they don't-
Or the first episode will be in Fortnite.
They don't want you to leave their ecosystem.
That's true.
Yeah, you have to watch it in the
Yeah.
in the Epic launcher.
Plus,
Yeah.
they would have to only use their original IP characters, like that banana guy or
Peely, yeah.
the.
What? His name is Peely.
You're disappointed that he knew who Peely was.
You know,
I play a lot of-
in hindsight, I suppose I shouldn't be.
Like I say, I play of all of us. I play a lot of Fortnite.
Listen, Josh, I'm not mad. I'm disappointed.
Okay.
No, but no, they would have to use like just their own IP.
And
to be able to-
nobody cares about those guys.
No,
They-
no.
I
The
mean-
fun is watching John Wick do a Fortnite dance.
Yeah,
and then shoot at Goku,
the-
who has a gun for some reason.
the xenomorph dance to Lady Gaga and play the bass guitar
And hey, maybe you can learn about Martin Luther King
The
as
Rock.
Rick Sanchez.
as Rick Sanchez. Yes.
Well, I mean, The Rock is a canonical Fortnite character.
And there's one that's voiced by Captain Marvel,
oh, Brie Larson.
Brie Larson. Yes.
Oh, well, there you go. Well, maybe they'll end up. Yeah.
I honestly, I can't even keep up with the story of Fortnite. Like, I know there is a story to Fortnite, but I honestly can't keep up. It's always changing.
Yeah.
It's like some metaverse garbage.
Yeah.
That's why I don't care. Like you made a dumb island with stupid names.
Yeah.
And now you can shoot Peter Griffin.
Yeah, I'm not gonna get invested in Tomato Town.
I'm the only video game movie I'm eagerly anticipating is the sequel to Mortal Kombat, because that first one was so bad.
It was fun.
It was fun.
a
It was stupid
movie.
fun. It
Yeah.
was stupid fun. And this one is going to be even dumber and more fun because Johnny Cage is going to be in it.
You
And
can't-
it's
you can't ask for
what's his name
anything-
from The Boys, and Thor Ragnarok, and
Oh, Carl Urban?
Carl Urban is Johnny Cage.
You know what? That tracks.
Yeah. You can't ask for more than stupid fun out of your Mortal Kombat movie. I mean,
Yep.
it's perfect.
Yeah, it's gonna be great.
Nothing can be worse than Mortal Kombat Annihilation.
It's pretty rough.
I don't know. That movie is
one's
really,
pretty rough.
really, really, really bad.
That one's actually hard to watch. It
is hard to watch.
I love bad movies. I have a hard time watching Mortal Kombat Annihilation, not because it's not just bad. It's like
It's just bad.
it's bad. It's not an enjoyable bad. You can't make fun of it
Yeah.
because
And now it is your turn
yes,
to die.
you will die.
I read a rumor somewhere, and take it with a grain of salt because I don't entirely believe it, that Illumination is pitching to Nintendo a Smash Brothers movie, which is the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
mean, we kind of tipped our toes in the water a little bit with the Mario movie.
That was all Mario, though.
Yeah, I know, but the fight
Well,
between
except for-
Donkey...
Except for there was a lot of Punch Out in it also.
I wouldn't hate a Smash Brothers movie. However, they should come at it like they did with the first Avengers film, where they have all of the characters have their own film
and
and
they're
are already
together.
established.
They're established,
Like,
yeah.
even if they were to do the original Smash Brothers cast, so there was like what, 8, and then there
Eight
were
or
4.
nine, yeah.
Well, eight main roster and then 4 unlockables. So I guess we could say 12. We'll say 12 characters. you would have to spend time in the movie explaining who Samus is. You would have to spend a section of the movie explaining who Ness is. What about Captain Falcon?
Yeah.
Or Pikachu.
Kirby.
Yeah, that would be much better suited if they did an Avengers style thing where they have their individual films. And then the Link they could do for Zelda, have it be a live action movie like they're working on, which I don't agree with, but whatever.
Yeah, right.
And then when they do the Smash Brothers movies, just have those actors voice the animated version.
But they can't do that though, because that Zelda movie is a completely different production company, different.
True.
That can't link up at all.
So they wouldn't be able to put Link in a Smash. Well, then what? Then don't do it.
Yeah, exactly. Like, and also, what story is there? Like, there's no plot to Smash Brothers.
There is a plot to Smash Brothers Melee, the subspace emissary.
That's not. That's
Brawl. That's Brawl.
But even that is like a bare bones.
Doesn't Ultimate kind of have a story?
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of. But again, bare bones.
Everybody dies but Kirby.
And there's a galactic
thing,
space monster that
angel thing
that might be controlling all of the master hands. Except Sephiroth came down and sliced it in half in that one trailer.
But even then, that's not a movie. You can't make a movie about that.
No, you really can't.
Seriously, that thing looked like a biblically accurate angel.
They would
had
be
less eyes.
They would be better off doing a Captain N movie.
Yeah.
Where you have a character...
That would be a huge, deep cut.
It would, but you would have... Or they wouldn't even have to call it Captain N. They could allude to it or something like that.
Call it the Game Master.
But have a main character that is not a game character, that is jumping from Game World to Nintendo Game World to Game World,
you don't have
solving crimes, or going after a originally created villain.
You don't have to overtly explain all these things because it's like, it's video games.
Yeah.
Like, that's as much you have to explain. I mean... Samus is a space lady from a video game. Like, that's all you really need.
That's all you need.
That's exactly kind of what Wreck-It Ralph does. It's kind of what...
Yeah.
It's kind of what that...
Yeah, it would be Wreck-It Ralph, essentially.
It'd be kind of like a... what was that? What was that dumb movie with Adam Sandler and they're fighting...
Pixels.
Pixels. Yeah, you could make it like, Pixel. Everyone already knows this stuff,
Yeah.
People know these characters.
Yeah.
You don't... I mean... Don't get me wrong. I would like to see, individual movies, because the more I think about it, and I know I say this a lot, I do like the Mario movie. I thought the Mario movie was good.
Sure.
And I would like to see more stuff in that vein.
I would love to see a live-action Metroid movie with Samus Aran.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
As long as she's not constantly talking about the baby.
The baby. I think Brie Larson should be Samus.
Would be fantastic.
There's a scene in the first Captain Marvel when she's got, like, stuff on her hands.
And she looked like...
One of them kind of looks like the gun arm, and it's like, she's Samus. That's Samus.
That's it.
Like, that's immediately what I thought when I saw it. Like,
yeah. Hey, did you... speaking of Metroid, I've been following a lot of, like, game modders and stuff online. Someone has gone through and converted the original Metroid into a Super Nintendo, basically a file.
Yeah, I saw that,
yeah, it looks beautiful. It's great. Like, they've like the advanced map system and stuff like that from Super Metroid.
I was gonna say,
but it's the classic.
So it looks like Super Metroid?
No, it looks like the original Metroid, but they've added like enhanced graphics for the maps and a save feature, and I think there are some extra sprites for like different things here and there. But yeah,
because the original Metroid is a rough play nowadays.
It's rough.
It is.
Yeah.
Rough as in difficult, or rough as in just it's rough?
Both.
Yes.
It's a hard game, and it also is like there's no auto map, and like it needs some quality of life things put in to make it more palatable.
You basically have to have a map to play through it these days.
Yeah, you have to either be drawing your own map or looking at one, or you're not going to have a good time.
Yeah. But anyway, Captain N the movie. I would watch that.
Trademark.
Yeah. And cast me as Captain N. Do it, cowards. Okay, speaking of video game stuff, this is actually one of the other big things. There was a kid, a 13-year-old streamer. I believe his screen name was Blue Scuddy, I think his name was. The first person to ever officially beat Tetris. And you probably ask, how does one beat Tetris, a game that goes on forever?
You destroy it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So Cody, can you explain what the process is on this?
I don't know exactly what he did to so soundly destroy Tetris, but he scored so high that it breaks the counter and basically kill screens the game.
It locks up the game.
Yeah. Like, he gains significantly more points than what the counter can even hold. Because it tops out at like 999,999. He goes way beyond that, locks up the whole game.
Yeah.
It's wild.
Yeah, it's very similar to the Pac-Man level
257.
Yeah, 257.
257, which locks up the game. It's really impressive that this, and it was done by a 13-year-old. This game is 36 years old.
Yeah, it was NES Tetris.
It's the original
Or 34
Tetris?
years old, rather.
It's the original Tetris?
The original Tetris.
Oh, man.
Well, not the original Tetris is a computer, Soviet computer program.
Yeah.
But like the widely accepted, like
the big Tetris.
the big Tetris.
Yeah.
The NES Tetris.
The that Tetris.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you. My brain would have been like, I can't. We didn't finish the song.
It.
I have to finish the song. But no, it's impressive. It's really, really cool, and I hope this kid goes on to do, more things in video games.
Get him on Games Done Quick.
Yeah, that would be awesome. That would be really cool.
With the dog, there's a dog that's gonna be doing a speed run this year.
The dog's doing Gyromite.
Yeah.
With Rob Robot.
Yeah, a guy trained his dog to do the stuff that Rob Robot would do in Gyromite, so he can speedrun Gyromite.
Yeah, and that's awesome. The first ever dog in
the dog's
speedrun.
name is Peanut Butter, or PB for short, which PB is speedrunner slang for personal best.
Personal best. Yeah, that's really good.
He's a Shiba Inu.
Nice.
It would have been better if he would have been a yellow lab. Like Mr. Peanut Butter.
Yeah.
Oh, from
BoJack.
Yeah, from BoJack Horseman.
Is this a crossover episode?
All right, so let's talk about some other things. What else do we have going on?
We got to talk about Steamboat Willie, since we made reference
we should
to
talk
it
about
at the
Steamboat
beginning.
Willie.
So yeah, Steamboat Willie, the first incarnation of Mickey Mouse.
Michael Moskowitz.
Yes.
Has entered the public domain. And you think, how can Mickey Mouse be public domain when he's literally the mascot and the logo of the Disney Corporation? Well, it's just that version of Mickey Mouse.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Disney has been moving the goalposts on this for
A long time.
a long, long time. It was 60 years after the artist's death. Was
And they
for a while,
got it
and then
pushed to 70.
70, and then I believe this one was 95 years after the death and a day.
And the government finally said no more extensions.
No more. Yeah. So technically, and what that means is the original version of Mickey Mouse, the original version of Pete,
and Minnie.
and the original version of Minnie.
It has to specifically be the Steamboat Willie or what was the other short?
Plain Crazy.
Plain
Crazy.
Right.
Yeah, it's that version of the character.
Right.
So no gloves.
No,
yeah, you can have gloves.
the gloves, because the theatrical posters.
The theatrical poster had gloves. He does not have to wear the boat captain hat.
Yep.
He can be hatless. He can have either striped or solid red pants and overalls. And his shoes can be either white or brown.
This is what we've heard. Do not take this
Yes.
as legal advice.
We're not lawyers, but this is what
I've read on Twitter.
People who seem to know a lot more about what they're talking about, this is what they have kind of determined.
It's a very specific, really weird situation.
And Disney hasn't made any legal moves about it yet, so it's
Because
kind of
they
like
can't.
yeah. Well, it's kind of like, see how far we can take it. Like,
Yeah.
we don't know.
Well,
they immediately
the-
announced that horror movie.
Yeah, I was just
Yeah.
getting ready to say, the day it happened, a bad horror movie got announced.
Just like
Winnie the Pooh, when Winnie the Pooh went public domain.
Blood and Honey.
So
yeah.
creatively bankrupt.
It really
like,
is.
immediately just make, what if it was evil? Like,
What if this Mickey Mouse killed people? Oh boy.
There's a game too.
Yeah, there's a game.
about rats becoming intelligent and looking like Mickey Mouse and killing people.
It's a cash grab. That's just a simple cash grab.
Well, like Cody said, it is morally bankrupt.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would
Well, not morally. It's creatively
bankrupt.
Yeah. No, morally they're in the clear. They can
Yeah.
do whatever they want. It's public domain.
Morally, they should have been able to do it 60 years ago, or not 60 years
40
ago.
years ago.
40 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's just going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. I would like to see someone do something creative and interesting with Mickey Mouse.
Combine him with Sherlock Holmes, who is also public domain,
Yeah.
and make Sherlock Mouse.
Sherlock Mouse, that would be
That's
cool.
my pitch.
Yeah.
I mean, we have the Great Mouse Detective.
Yeah. And
It's true.
And Disney owns that.
and you know what? I'm just going to say this out here. People that when this happened, a lot of people on Twitter and online were like, "Hey, look what I did. Look what I could do now. I drew a picture of Mickey Mouse." You can always draw a picture of Mickey Mouse. That wasn't the problem.
Yeah.
It's putting it on a t-shirt and selling it.
Yes,
that
making
was the
money.
problem.
Making money off
Putting
of
a
it.
free picture of Mickey Mouse that looks like Sonic the Hedgehog from Sonic Adventures, cool as it is, that's
Always been allowed.
That's always been allowed.
To quote the one Rick and Morty episode, that's always been allowed.
Yeah, it's literally putting it on a t-shirt, putting it on a lunchbox, and making money off of it.
Yeah, or making a clever twist on the idea and selling it as your own. You couldn't do that, but now you
couldn't do
can.
that, but now you can. The next big ones that are coming up are Tigger and Superman.
I read Tigger
is within 6 months.
Okay.
I believe. It's this year, but it's not right now. It's not the first of the year. Peter Pan technically is now.
But not Disney's version.
Yeah,
Not Disney's version.
it's the literary version.
The literary version because
Much like Sherlock Holmes. It's
Yeah.
the literary version.
And only
Exactly.
some Sherlock Holmes. After you get to a certain point, they will claim Sherlock Holmes.
Right. I think it's after the Wickenbach Falls, because I think that was the original
That was the end that Sir Arthur
original
Conan Doyle
death
wrote.
of. Yeah, I think it's everything up through Wickenbach Falls or Wickenbach Falls.
And you have to be careful with the way that you write.
Reichenbach.
Reichenbach, yeah.
The
wow.
way that you write him too. Like if he
Yes.
acts too much like a more current version of Holmes, you will get in trouble.
Right.
Yeah, they come after you for that kind of stuff.
Yeah. So
Public domain.
Public
It's
domain.
weird.
It's weird, and frankly, it's too complicated for me to wrap my brain around.
Also, it is mostly a U.S. kind of thing. The rest of the world's got weird copyright laws.
Sure.
But I think that you should be able to play with other people's ideas after a certain amount of time has gone by, just for the creativeness of it. The ability to make art from it is cool.
Agreed. Absolutely agreed. Yeah.
Dracula is public domain.
Dracula is public domain.
I think most of the
but not Universal's Dracula.
Right.
Bram
Yeah.
Stoker's Dracula.
Yes, specifically Bram Stoker.
But I really do think things should go into the public
Oh,
domain.
Oswald is too.
Oswald the Lucky Rabbit, yeah.
Walt Disney's original character.
Mm-hmm.
Who was not even thought about until that one game came out.
I like Epic Mickey.
I
It
like
was a
Epic
good-
Mickey, too.
Good game.
I wish they could bring it back somehow.
I wish it wasn't a game on the Wii.
Yeah.
I wish the original game would have been on a different console.
Yeah.
Yeah, and not tethered to the Joy-Con play.
Well, the art is all so good, and it's barely existing on the Wii. It looks like
It's chugging pretty bad.
Yeah, it could look so much better anywhere else. But
Yep, I agree.
much like any game that comes out on the Switch nowadays.
Oof.
Well, at this point, we're in a holding pattern until
Yeah.
Switch 2.
It's so
or
long.
whatever they call
Yeah,
it.
the Switch
Yeah.
is so long in the tooth at this point that
Which is nuts to think about because I think most of us bought Switch day one.
yeah.
Yeah, and I'll buy the Switch 2 day one.
Yeah. I wanted an OLED Switch so bad, but at this point it's
At this point,
not worth
it's not
it.
worth.
Yeah, I'll wait
Yeah.
for the
Yeah, I wasn't going to spend money for a slight upgrade.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks nice.
Oh,
that
yeah.
OLED screen is very nice.
But
Screen
also-
can look as great as you want.
also,
if the
I
graphics
never-
aren't good, who cares?
I never take my Switch out of the dock, so
Oh, see, I
I-
mine's mostly handheld at this
yeah,
point.
I play mine almost exclusively handheld.
Although I use it to play Vampire Survivors on the TV, It is a lot of fun on the TV.
I played Samba de Amigo Party Central on the TV the other day.
All right.
It was on sale on Amazon. It might still be for like $15.
Oh.
I'm like, heck yeah, I'll buy Samba de Amigo for $15.
Oh, that reminds me. I need to pick up that Yakuza pack off of GOG.
Oh yeah, it's $20 for
the almost the entire series.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all the original mainline ones.
Right.
Until the Like a Dragon stuff.
Like 1 through 6, I think is what it is.
Yeah.
Or 0 through 6.
Yeah, because it's got Kamui and Kamui 2, too.
Guys, I have never played a Yakuza game, but I am looking forward to Infinite Wealth so much.
Oh yeah.
That looks so goofy.
Oh yeah, the man who erased his name amped me up for Infinite Wealth so bad. Even though I prefer the beat 'em up version to the turn-based one, even still, like I want that.
Yeah. Like, there's a whole Animal Crossing, practically a game within a game that is, one, Pokemon, because you collect homeless people with different costumes, and they fight for you.
Which
in Pokemon styles. There's Sugamon, I think is what they're called.
Yeah, that was in the
other one.
Yakuza 7. Yeah.
But they expanded it, and then there's an Animal Crossing island that you can build your entire island resort, and the Sugamon that you have that are your Pokemon are also your villagers on your island that run your shops.
I'm excited to see the studio's interpretation of America, because this one takes place in Hawaii.
One. Yes.
So like I want to see their version of America.
And it's going to be really interesting to see how they jump back and forth between the serious and the goofy, because
That's what all Yakuza does.
Yeah, they've never had a problem with that before.
But like, we're jumping from Ichiban trying to find his mom in Hawaii, and also Kiryu,
old man
Kiryu dealing with cancer. That was in a trailer. That was in a trailer.
I didn't know he had
That was
cancer.
in a trailer. That can't be a spoiler because it was in a trailer.
It wasn't in the man who erased his name, so it's a thing for the new game.
It's the thing for the new game. Kiryu has cancer, and he is going there. There was a very serious trailer where he is going around to all of the people from all the previous games that are still alive, because Kiryu has never technically killed someone. Never once. Never once.
He's thrown people like off buildings, but never killed anyone.
Kazuma Kiryu has never killed a person ever.
He has taken a knife and pushed it into somebody's gut and then kicked it further in with his knee. But he's never killed anyone.
He has used a gun to kill a person, but he's never killed a person.
But for non-lethal shots.
But say, isn't that like the original storyline of like the original Yakuza?
He gets framed for murder.
He gets framed for murder
all the time.
Yeah, he could sneeze and get framed for murder.
And then Majima shows up out of a trash can and punches
the
him.
Majima Anywhere system.
Kiryu-chan.
Punches him in the face and runs away.
Mm-hmm. Oh, is Infinite Wealth dubbed? Is it dubbed right off the bat?
I don't know that.
I've never played a Yakuza game that had Kiryu where he was dubbed, and that's going to be weird.
Wasn't the original one dubbed, and it had
it has Mark Hamill.
Mark Hamill was Kiryu. He was Majima. He was Majima.
Yeah.
And he was basically doing his Joker voice.
I mean, that's Mark Hamill's voice acting period. He's kind of always doing the Joker voice. There's just variations.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Skips sounds like the Joker.
I'm so used to his Japanese voice. It's going to be weird.
Nani. That's basically all he says.
I mean, it's kind of like Jotaro.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah. Yeah. Stoic.
Stoic and few words.
Yeah.
Yada. Or Like a Dragon now, I guess is what it's called. It's one of my favorite modern franchises by a long shot. Although is it even modern at this point?
No.
It's really not.
The
It's
original
been around
one
forever.
was PlayStation 2. But
yeah.
I mean, I feel like it didn't really catch its stride until 0. Mm-hmm. And that's when it kind of came into the public
that's when they started.
consciousness.
That's when they started allowing it to be ported to America, I thought.
No, there was there on PlayStation 3. There's a bunch of.
Oh, there are. Yeah.
And the original came. Well, that's why it was dubbed. But I think 2 and 3 came out in America.
Gotcha.
Kamui is a remake of the original, isn't it?
Kiwami, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But it started at 0.
Well, yeah, because that's when you get Majima as a nightclub guy.
Yeah, cabaret club.
Cabaret killer, yeah.
Or you could do the turn-based one with Ichiban.
Because that's a different story.
Because it's a different
entirely.
story, and they cross over into this, and the fact that he gets legitimate brain damage and starts seeing punks as Dragon Quest characters.
Well, it says he grew up in a brothel playing Dragon Quest on an old TV.
Yep. And then years later gets brain damage, and now he sees enemies as Dragon Quest characters and stuff.
Also, the Yakuza games are just good. Okay,
Yeah.
They're goofy and they're fun, and there's lots of mini games.
Zero is so good. Zero is probably my favorite one.
You know, I just had this thought like a second ago, and I know we're running close on time. Shenmue on the Dreamcast. It's kind of like short form Diet Yakuza.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yakuza feels like what they wanted to do with Shenmue, but couldn't because the technology wasn't really there at the time.
Well, wasn't Yakuza also originally a virtual fighter RPG that they wanted, or
Yeah.
that they were?
That's what it started development as,
and
but then turned
changed.
into something else.
Yeah.
Which is fine, because we like it the way it is.
Yeah. Yeah, but Yakuza feels like the dream of Shenmue made reality.
Yes. Yes.
Don't get me wrong, I love the original Shenmue. Even 2, even though it's been a really long time since I played 2.
I don't want to keep playing Lucky Strike.
I tried to go back and play it, like when they re-released it on PlayStation 4. Ugh, I couldn't
yeah,
do it.
Really? Is it
Too slow and janky and weird.
I guess I'm just nostalgic for like the forklift mini game
Oh, sure.
and looking for sailors.
I was just going to say looking for sailors. Yes.
Oh, the man who erased his name. There is a Sega Master System in it, and you can collect cartridges for it and have more games.
Oh, nice.
There's a Sega Master.
Yeah,
That was my original console.
Nice.
Was the Sega Master.
you unlock a hideout that has a Sega Master System in a back room.
I mean, that's a deep cut because a lot of people don't know about the Master. Mm-hmm. Like that's great.
I had to play a bunch of blackjack so I could unlock another cartridge. That was one of the casino rewards. Was like Quattro for the Master
Oh, wow.
System. It's like, I have to have it. I have to have all of them.
Nice. All right, we have gone a little over time, so let's go ahead and wrap things up for the week. You have been listening to Nerd Overload. Thank you very much for tuning in. You can find us each and every day over at nerdoverload.com.
You can find us on Facebook, Twitch, Instagram, or support our Patreon at Nerd Overload Now.
You can shoot us an email at staff@nerdoverload.com or give us a call on the Nerd Overload hotline, 419-561-5556. Leave us a message. We might play it on the show.
That's right. You can also find all of our back episodes on various podcast apps such as Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Google Play, and more. Finally, I'd like to thank Parker for helping us out over at the Facebook page, as well as David Pencil for the use of our intro and outro. You can find more of his stuff over at davidpencil.com. So again, thank you all for tuning in, and we will be back next week.
I forgot to mention just how absolutely savage Mickey Mouse is to animals in Steamboat Willie.
Oh, absolutely,
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, the pig and yeah.
Oh, yeah, he's swinging cats around. He's tweaking pig nipples. It's
So
crazy.
make sure you put that into your now legally allowed public domain art.